me.
So on to the actual first topic, because that's the end of the quick shots. We have the PS5 Digital Edition, which is actually getting the lighter downsizing or whatever. I mean, I know we had talked about there being a possibility for a console like revision and
Smaller nano
and
chip.
yeah, it
Yeah.
was supposed to be like the smaller nano chip and all that stuff. And so it looks like this is the actual digital version that's going to be changed. So I know we talked about like the smaller chip and stuff like that, but do you know if there was anything else that was really changed about it besides just like taking out some of the extra innards that would make it heavier?
All I know is that the system is not going to be like any faster or run any differently. I think they're just trimming the fat.
Right.
Just
okay.
making it smaller.
Yeah, just trying to optimize the insides or whatever.
Just trying to
make it more efficient
optimize
or something like that.
This has to all be in relation to the semiconductor shortage, I think.
Right. Yeah,
Right,
I
a
would
lot
think
of
that
this.
too. Yeah.
Also, I wonder why they are only doing this to the digital edition and not the disc edition. What do you think? Like, why do you think they're only modifying or lightening the digital edition?
Maybe because they're doing that one first. Like, if we have like if we try to go off of any of our previous theories about these consoles and going digital and stuff like that, right? They get more money going digital, right? We've already seen numerous times that the PlayStation stores do not discount their games that often.
Right.
And if they do, it's not by much or whatever.
I think you're right.
So it's like if I've pumped out both of these consoles, right? But the digital console is more profit for me as opposed to giving you the one with the disc drive, which is a little less profit for me. Then I would just pump out more of the digital consoles. And then hey, it's been scarce, right? But we fixed that problem. We got more digital for you. If you like it, purchase it because it's available now like that.
I think I see your
And
point.
they get more money on the back end because of how much they're charging for their digital games,
Right.
which cannot be purchased anywhere else.
Right.
It has to be purchased on their console.
Yeah, they're definitely incentivized to want to sell you the digital edition. But another thing too, just to add on top of what I think your point is I also think they're losing money on the digital console. I don't think they're really losing money on the PS5 disc.
Okay.
I think it's really close. I think they might be making a few dollars.
Yeah,
on the
because
PS5.
we know the disc drive isn't.
It's
giving
not worth
that
much,
money.
right? Exactly. So the disc rate isn't worth a lot. So if the digital edition is only missing, if that's it, literally the only thing it's missing, it has literally every other component is the disc drive, then that they shot the price up $100 just for the disc drive, and the disc drive didn't cost that much.
Right.
So I tend to think that the disc edition is making some money. I don't think the digital edition is making any money. I think they're losing money on each digital edition they make. And so I think that this is a way to get those costs down too, right? Like remove some components, shrink it a bit, make it a little cheaper, and then still sell it at $400 to try and make up some money, because this might be revealing. This might be telling us that they never intended to sell this one for $400. I think they didn't,
that they were forced into that
because
position
of the
because
$299 on the Xbox Series S. That I think that Sony was like, shoot, we wanted to sell our 5 for $600 and our digital for $500, but we had to drop it $100.
They already get like a way out because the Series S is the 300 and the digital for the PS5 is 5, but the size of the solid state drive has never changed.
Right.
It's still the same whether you get the disc or the digital. It's
Or the
literally
size on the X
just the
changed.
thing. Well,
right.
The Series S and the X, yeah, it's a half.
Half. Yeah.
So there's a reason why it's like so low.
But
And
what the
then
problem is,
Xbox
people look at the two and just say, "Oh, well, that one's $100 cheaper,"
right.
and they both can only play digital games. So why am I going to go with this one? When in actuality, you're right. You're getting more money. You're getting more bang for your buck by going with the PS5. Not only are you getting a larger hard drive, but you're getting a faster processor, a better
It's the same
GPU,
processor as the one with the disc,
right?
When they're
And the
limiting
GPU
it,
too.
They're reducing it from
From
the
the-
X to the S,
right.
You know, so
So-
you're getting this like downplayed version when you get the S,
Right.
compared to the X, whereas the digital compared to the disc is literally one for one, except minus
Right.
the disc. That's it.
The PS5 digital
So-
pound for pound is just way better. The only reason why I'm so impressed with the S is because I think it's perfect for a Game Pass universe.
Yeah.
That's the only reason why the S I think is just a wonderful purchase.
Right.
Which I would recommend anybody.
It's a great entry
It's
price.
a great.
and
It's just
it
yeah.
makes
It's
it easy to
$299.
go.
It's so cheap, and you're getting a really powerful machine for $300.
Right.
Really powerful. $300 is like so small. That's a Switch, and you're getting the Game Pass, right?
the Switch.
Was the Switch. Now it's $349, right? But I just think that this is telling us that Sony was like, shoot, man, like we're gonna release this thing at $399, but and also why I think you couldn't really find too many digital editions. It seemed like when it first launched, it was like 10-1. What I was hearing, it was like 10% of the consoles being released were digital, and 9 out of 10 were disc editions.
Oh, okay.
Because I don't think they were making much money on the digitals.
Right.
But I think now, once we see these changes, for the reasons you mentioned, number one,
Might
they
adjust.
really want to sell digitals.
Right.
I think they really do. I think that was their hope all along. I just think they were hoping to get 500 for the digital and 600 for disc. So I think their hope all along was to sell digital consoles. But when the Microsoft price came out, they had to drop their prices down and scramble and cut production of digitals and increase production of discs to make some money until they were able to make these changes. And I think like now when we see these changes coming out, I think you're right. I think they're going to start pushing when this new model comes out, they're going to start pushing
More
this
digitals,
one
right? Yeah.
than the disc edition.
I definitely think that there'll be more digitals available now, just with this slight
Definitely
alteration.
I think so too.
And then I think eventually they'll probably get to it too for the disc. It'll just be a matter of time.
I think they just want to get the cost down to where it's not costing them money to make it.
Yeah.
They don't care if they're not making money on it as long as they're not losing money on every sale.
Right.
Because you're right. They want to sell digitals because that's where they make tons of money. They have a monopoly on digital on their PSN store.
Right.
We saw that lawsuit a few months back, right?
Right.
People are like, we can't buy anything, but nothing's on sale for us, right? So Sony wants to give away digitals, but I think they're losing money on every console sale, and they're like slow rolling it until
just
this
trying
console.
to figure out how to switch it so they can offset it and whatnot.
So that's what I think this is all about.
So I mean that's cool. I totally hope that people are able to get consoles soon enough.
That too.
And they just have to decide whether they want
That
to
too.
wait on a disc or they want to just get the digital. You know what I mean? And just deal with it.
This
you
is
know,
probably
but-
a way to increase supply. You're right.
Yeah, I mean, if that would happen, right? If more people get PS5s in their hand, then maybe that incentivizes more PS5 only exclusives instead of getting all of these that are on every damn, like PS5, PS4. Like
Right.
I'm tired of seeing that. I want to see PS5 onlys more.
Me too. We've been talking
I
about that
wanna get
before, right?
I want to not have to pay an extra 10 or whatever just to get my PS5 features later on when they
Right.
decide to
Right.
do it 6 months, 7 months down the line. You know what I mean? So I want my shit now. I pay for it. I want it now. you
Yeah,
know?
and we want more Ratchet and Clanks and Returnals, games that take advantage of the hard drive specific to the PS5.
Right.
We want games developed for the PS5. It still seems like everyone's developing games for the PS4, and they're just being ported over to the PS5. We're not getting a lot of like PS5 tech,
Yeah.
which that won't happen until they sell more consoles, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But hopefully this pushes them in that direction. More people can buy a digital, if anything, and we can see more games start to get developed for the PS5.
For sure.
I love you, me.